Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is the King and I Life podcast, hosted by myself, Soul Toucher, the poet, and my man in the house, and
Sun
Solex.
selects.
Yo, run it down, man. Run it down.
Hey man, we bring y'all that real fire today. So you know what? Y'all can hit us up on the Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. You can hit us up on that Patreon. Again, if you guys want to contribute to the show, y'all can hit us up on that Cash App. And it's much appreciated. And like we always say, it doesn't go in our pockets. It goes back into the show. So
Yeah.
again, please contribute. It's much appreciated. You guys want to come on the show, you can hit us up at KINGANDEYE369 at gmail.com. Again, that's King and I 369 at gmail.com. And yeah.
So getting back into it, man. Yeah, I definitely feel where you was coming from on the pride thing. And I totally agree with you. You know, everybody gets to that point to where they have a lot of shit going on. And you know, we've all been there to the point where our pride has either messed up relationships or it slapped us in the face and woke us up and put us in a place to where it was like, oh, you was out here playing big Willie. Now you need some help or whatever the case may be. And because you were showing your ass, you in a place where you are ashamed to ask for help, or you know, some of them people that you may feel small, now you too small to ask them for assistance. So I definitely feel where you coming from with that. And you know, that's a moral balance that you know, a lot of people need to learn how to, you know, operate in.
Yes. Humility.
But I think it takes a person who is real with themselves, and real with the people around them to prevent them from going down that path, or, you know, feeling like they're too good to go down that path. So yeah, with that pride thing, it's you know, it's a delicate dance for anybody, but as long as you are grounded, whether it be spiritually, morally, or whatever the case may be, it should be easy for you to operate inside that. And it also takes, to me, I think it takes being raised in a manner in which, hey, yes, you can think a certain way of yourself, but don't think that you better than, you know, anybody else around you, because, you know, everything that you are gaining and making you feel like you're on top of the world, you can lose that in no time.
Hell yeah. Damn near instantly. And I've never been a type that, you know, I floss in front of people's faces. I mean, people who, you know, are less fortunate than me. But I definitely just took a lot of pride in my accomplishment at that time. You know, like to be at that age and at that point in my life and doing it how I was doing it. Like you really couldn't have told me, you know, that you haven't accomplished anything. You know what I'm saying? Like no one, I don't give a damn if they're way richer than me or on my same level. You couldn't have come to me and told me, you know, I wasn't doing it. Because at that time in my mind, you know, I'm doing it.
Right.
So again, my pride was the part of, no, I don't stunt on other people, you know, and meaning to brag about, you know, the shit that I got.
Right.
But, you know, living in Atlanta and living that type of lifestyle, I was like, man, I can run with the big dogs if I want to.
Yeah,
To a
just that
certain
environment.
extent, you know what I'm saying? But again, I just think that through losing everything. And that was my second time of losing everything. And
Mm.
I've been down altogether in my life probably about 4 times where I was really asking myself, like, how the fuck did you get here?
Right.
But each time that I went down, the beautiful part about it was I would fucking bounce back twice as
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah.
So
And that's a good thing.
yeah. So it was one of those learning experiences of, you're going from having everything to losing everything, to getting it again, to losing it again, to getting it again, to losing it again, to getting it again. And like, okay, well, let me do shit a little bit differently this time.
Right.
Let me pace myself a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes
I
down,
think.
oh, go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
I'm just gonna say, for anyone who's out there and their pride is standing in the way of them, whether it be asking for help or thinking that you're better than someone else.
Mm-hmm.
This universe has a very weird way of showing you that pride thing that you got really ain't shit.
Right. Yeah. The one thing I was going to say was like, just like you, I had to file for bankruptcy once, and the thing that I will say about that, as far as my personal experience, is don't let your pride prevent you from doing what you feel you need to do to assist you in getting back to a place where you need to be. I say that because for the longest time, I contemplated whether I should file bankruptcy or not. Um, and as a man, like as a man, and I'll just say it like this: as a prideful black man, that is one of the last things that you want to do because it makes you feel like a failure.
Yep.
It makes you feel like you're not worthy. It makes you feel a whole bunch of ways, and that's that pride playing with your head. But you got to realize everybody has setbacks. You're not the only one who's been in that situation.
Hell no.
So don't let your pride prevent you from looking at all options that can be on the table. I know for me and a lot of people in my position, to where either you're in the military or you have a government job, you have a security clearance. Um, that's like one of the last things that you think you want to do, because it's like, damn, if I do this, I'm gonna lose my job, I'm gonna lose my clearance, I'm never gonna be, this, that, and the other. But hey, with anything in life, as long as you can explain how you got there, as long as you can explain and understand how to fix your situation, don't let your pride get in the way of you being able to do that, because you really have to sit down, take a look in the mirror and be like, I did X, Y, and Z to get me in this situation, whatever situation it is.
Right.
And you have to look at how you got there, and you have to tell yourself, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z to get myself out of this situation. And once you put that pride to the side, and you understand where you are, how you got there, you have a blueprint for getting yourself out of there and rebuilding your pride up to a humble level. I mean, setbacks will humble you to a point where either you are on a level or you on a lower level, but just don't let your pride stand in your way. Um, and again, like anything, don't let your pride affect other people. And, that's
Yeah.
all I got to say to that one, man.
Yeah. I was just fortunate enough when I filed bankruptcy that one time and one time only, that it was just me. I ain't have to worry about, a family or kids or anything like that. So those were one of those lessons that I learned earlier on. Thank God, or the universal God. So I've never come close to being in that situation where, oh my God, I think I'll have to file for bankruptcy again.
Right.
Been down, but damn sure went out. So anyway, we'll move on though. But I'm just saying to anyone who's in that predicament right now, where you're thinking about, I don't want to file for this bankruptcy. I don't want to have to face my family and friends and let them see that I'm not financially as well off as I once was. I say, fuck that shit.
Right.
All that materialistic ass shit, bro or sister, you can get that shit back, man. I'm telling you, you can get it back. So don't go to losing sleep. Don't go to losing weight. Don't go to losing your goddamn health. Let that materialistic ass shit go. Because again, like I said, the one thing that I learned from that shit is every time I lost shit, I got that shit back faster the next time. I was able to sustain it. A hell of a lot better off now than what I was, but each time you go through it, you learn, what not to fucking do. So anyway, I'll let that go.
Yeah. And before we jump off of this, I know that we kind of nailed it down to a bankruptcy because I think for us, who we are, it kind of hits to the core.
Yeah,
but you have to look at that happens with marriages, it happens with your children, it happens with jobs, it happens with anything. So like Sun Soul Lex was just saying, don't let that have you losing sleep, losing your appetite, poor health. Just take a minute, take a breather, and keep it moving. So we're going to jump into greed now.
Yes, sir.
Greed, uncontrolled longing for increase in the acquisition or use of material gain, social value, such as status or power.
Ooh. That goddamn greed, a motherfucker, boy.
Yes, it is.
I'll say for greed, though, I have a system, right? And my system is let me rephrase it. You can have greed, but don't be goddamn greedy. And the way I apply that is, if you don't have greed to a certain extent, it's kind of like if you don't open your mouth, you're not going to get fed. So that's how I apply greed. When it comes down to me supporting my family and maintaining the lifestyle that we've become accustomed to, if I'm out here busting my behind and I have either an employer or a business relationship where I am being underpaid, you better believe I'm going to open my damn mouth and say, hey, we either need to renegotiate these goddamn terms or you need to bump up my goddamn pay. Don't ever be scared to ask for your worth or what you feel that you're worth.
Right. Because
to really let people know, no matter how much damn money people are paying you, you're still being underpaid. I think a lot of people could agree with that. Some may not. But if you really know your worth, I can guarantee you damn near worth probably double or triple what you're actually being paid right now. But I'll get off of that. But when it comes down to being greedy, which is the step above greed for me, that means not only am I trying to get what I'm worth, I'm trying to get what she's worth, what he's worth, what him and that guy over there, I'm trying to get they shit too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like you're not leaving anything else on the damn table for anyone else other than yourself.
Right.
So that's what I contribute to being greedy. And when you get to goddamn being greedy, don't be surprised by the damn kickback of that.
Right.
So you have the how should I put this? You have the regular situation. I'm not even gonna say the average situation. I'm gonna say the regular situation where you're being paid. And then you have greed, meaning get what you can, get your worth. And then you have being greedy, which is you're going way out your goddamn way to make sure you get everything that not only belongs to you but belong to other people. So that is how I break down greed.
I'm gonna look at it like this. I get what you're saying, but I'm gonna word it like this.
All right.
It's okay for anyone to have an intense desire for things, whether it's material things, social value, or status of power.
All right.
The problem is when it gets to the point where it's more than you should have or more than you deserve. And again, just like just like pride, just like anything else, it's to one's interpretation. I can't look at you and look at your quest for money and be like, yo, you greedy. I can't do that because I don't know, the limits of your desire. I don't know what your goals are. And as far as, social value, I don't know who you're trying to be. I don't know who you're trying to get to follow you. I don't know, how much power you want to have over who and what. But the thing is, let's look at money. Yes, go for what you're worth, but be realistic. If you know damn well you're going after something because you just want it, don't do that. Go for it because that's what you deserve.
Right.
That's what you've earned. That's what you've worked for. That's what you put your blood, sweat, and tears behind. Because outside of that, you're just being greedy. Like if you don't organically deserve an amount of money and material things or whatever the case may be, then you're just being excessive. And when people get excessive with stuff like that, it kind of alters the way that they act towards other people. I'm not going to say it changes them because everybody is who they are. Right. Like when people say money changes people, nah, money just exposes the real person. Just like, when a person eats too much food, it's like, dude, here's a plate of food. This little plate of food right here is going to sustain you. It's not going to make you full to where you be like, oh, damn, I'm full. It's going to be enough for you to get through the day. But when you get to the point where, all right, you've eaten enough food to give your body the nutrients that it needs, but you just scarfing down more food, you're being greedy.
Yep.
And my example to that was when I was little. Like my favorite dish is macaroni and cheese. When I was little, I would get a plate of food, full plate of food. Half that plate would be macaroni and cheese. I'd eat that damn plate down, and I'm going back for more. I would eat a half a pan of macaroni and cheese. That's just goddamn greedy. You don't need all of that. You don't deserve all of that. I had enough to where I was sustained. I was good.
Mm-hmm.
Anything more than that is just greedy. Don't need it.
Yeah. I remember one time I went out to eat And I was with one of our guests that came on the show, Karki Mills. I had went out with him and his family, and his uncle. It was me, Karki, his mom, his dad, his cousin, mom and dad. I mean, there at least had to be about 12 to 15 people there in that particular dinner party. And his uncle paid for everything. You know, it was nothing because, you know, his uncle was doing well. I put it to you like that.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, there's a guy that was in the restaurant by himself, a very heavy set gentleman. You know what I'm talking about? Very heavy set. And we were watching him, you know, eat, and he was just forcing himself to eat. Like,
Wow.
eating where he...
Oh, damn. He was going like that?
Yeah. And then he would continue to eat. And I remember some people were laughing at him, you know, Karki and his family, and, you know, we were just looking at this man, and we weren't looking at him like in a place of laughter or sorrow. It was more like sorrow we felt for him, because we're like, you know, what has contributed to this man and him eating like that?
Right.
You're the only one at the table, and the table is full of food, and you probably about a good 300 to 400 pounds. So greed goes across many tables.
Yeah.
No pun intended. But you really got to ask yourself, what makes someone be beyond the point of greed, where they're greedy? Like, something in their mind won't shut off to let them know you have enough.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'll just bring that up to bring another point of how greed and being greedy works.
Yeah. I think greed is one of those things that we as people, especially on this part of the world, I think it's something that is deeply ingrained in us, because either so much was taken from us, you know, generation after generation after generation.
Right.
Even in our own family, so much was taken from us that when we get a little bit, we want so much more. And we feel like if we don't get it all, somebody else is going to get it and we're never going to have it. And I don't think that a lot of us are taught that, you know, you don't have to be greedy. You just find your place in it, and you know, get what is due to you. Get
Right.
what is within your means. And I'm not saying settle for less. Just get what's in your means.
Right.
And incrementally, you know, do whatever you have to do to put yourself in a position to where you deserve more, instead of saying, no, I'm going to take it all and the hell with everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's what I got on greed.
Definitely. I will say, I have nothing against the younger people. They getting that money, boy. Ooh, they getting that bread. And I have nothing against that. I hear a lot of people from our generation and before our generation are like getting upset with the younger people because they flossing. You know, they getting these damn cars at such a young age and living in these houses at such a young age. And I'm like, who gives a fuck? Why are you up here trying to count another man's money or another female's money? I don't do that. You know, there are going to be plenty of people who in this world are going to have more money than me.
Right.
There are going to be plenty of people who have less money than me.
Mm-hmm.
But You can't hate on someone else for their grind or their hustle. I don't give a damn if
Right.
they getting it legally or illegally.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's kind of like there are very few people in this world who can actually sustain money. There are a lot of people who can get it now, but
Yeah.
there aren't a whole lot who can actually sustain it. So
And I think those are the greedy ones.
that's it.
Honestly, just to keep it real. I mean, if you can go out there and get the money, but you can't sustain it and you have to keep chasing,
Mm-hmm.
that's greedy.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, I don't knock them, but one thing that I don't understand and I don't condone is just because you have the ability to get all that money does not mean that you should go out there and flaunt it in that manner, because that's greedy and selfish to me. It's like, all right, I know you make money, but do you really have to buy all of those um, materialistic things just to show off your wealth? Um, Humble yourself, because hey, when it's gone, it's gone. So
Definitely.
yeah, that's why. Yeah.
Yeah. It's, as far as people who actually though that do make money and give back, I mean, to their community, I salute you 100%, no matter how you get your money. Uh, but I think there are so many people who take out of our community and don't give shit. Those are the people I, don't too particularly care for, but it is what it is. So you stay home.
I don't. You know what? For me, I don't particularly think they owe the community anything. And I only say that because going back to greed and pride,
Mm-hmm.
I say that because let's just say I came from whatever community. Um, if I give back to the community should be grateful that I have shared my wealth or my accomplishments with the community, because half the jokers in the community were not there to help you move forward.
No.
Um, Whether it's friends, family, or whoever, it could be the community as a whole. Um, so to that aspect, I don't, look, I don't owe the community anything. Now, if I give back to the community, um, hey, it's one of those things, and I'll take it a step further. If my attitude is fuck the community, that right there is a part of greed.
Yeah.
Because although the community as a whole may not have helped me get there, I'm not going to forget where I came from, so to speak.
Right.
And it has to do with a certain amount of pride in my heart and in inside of me, and an amount of being humble to say, you know what, I've made it out there. I don't owe anything, but had I not made it out of there, I'd have been stuck there too. And there's a lot of people stuck there. So in that way, I'm a have a certain amount of pride to be like, you know what, I can do something to help maybe 2, 3, 4 people, maybe more. So
Right. I mean,
in that sense,
I'm sorry.
I'm not going to allow greed to be like blow me up and be like, fuck the community, I don't owe y'all shit. I mean, I don't owe y'all nothing. Most of y'all, I don't owe anything. But as a prideful person, I'm gonna reach back and be like, hey, if I can help, I can help.
Right. I mean, the thing about it, and I guess I should be more specific when I speak on that. When I say giving back to the community, I don't mean giving back to the motherfuckers that didn't even help you.
Oh yeah, I get what you're
You know
saying.
what I'm
I
saying?
get what you're saying all the
I'm
way.
talking about like those coaches who didn't have enough
Mm-hmm.
equipment back then, but they still
Yeah.
made a way for you to get
Mm-hmm.
the equipment. for those teachers.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
you know,
I definitely feel where you're coming from.
Who stayed, behind class to help
Mm-hmm.
you get the grade that you needed in order to help you progress in whatever field it was you were trying to get, to the next level in. That's what I'm talking about. But as far as like the month who, were actually rooting for the opposite team just because your ass was on that team or whatever it may be, don't pay them fools no attention.
None at all.
But I am talking about the people who did have a positive influence on your life. I don't give a damn. You just go back and say thank you. That thank you can be so much more than what you know. But if you never say it, how is the person that helped you supposed to know that that's how you feel?
Yep.
So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you guys for tuning in for this episode, part 2 of the 7 Sins. So you guys make sure you guys come back, and we're going to keep this thing rolling. But if you want to reach us, you can reach us at KINGANDEYE369@gmail.com. Again, that's KingandI369@gmail.com. And if you guys want to contribute to the show, you guys can hit us up on that Cash App. You can hit us up on that Patreon. Again, the only thing we want to do is continue to make this show bigger and better, bring better content. With that being said, it's on you, sir.
Yep. So yes, hit us up on whatever podcast platform that you subscribe to. Hit us up on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Like, subscribe, and share. At SunSoulX, hit us up. KingandI369@gmail.com. Everything is going to be in the description. All the links, the Cash App, the Patreon, all of that. Definitely tune into us on lives every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. Time willing, life willing, things come up, but we're going to try to bring it to you. With that said, we'll be back.
For sure.